Honey, wake up! New Legends of Arkain just dropped. Created by Gardon, it's a custom campaign for Warcraft 3. And we're on Act 3. The entirety of Act 3 has been released. I'm looking at the list of these missions, and other than the infamous Siege of Calm, I really don't remember which of these missions are which. I'm sure as soon as I see them in-game, I'll know. But let's get started. Terror of Old. The emissary led Blen into the forest once known as the Royal Pearl of Lore, the most beautiful forest in the kingdom. Now, however, the forest is a rotten place. Most of its inhabitants fell sick due to an unknown infection, dying or becoming insane. And here in this terrible forest lies Gardon's camp, and another, even darker force lurks deep in the forest. By the way, if you're new to this series, you should check the playlist right at the top of the description below. You can get yourself all caught up on the story. Greetings, soldier. I'm well aware of your identity, General Greymore and Lord Harmos. On behalf of General Bloodclaw, I thank you for coming here. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Time is of the essence. Thanak's got some creep eyes. Agreed. Well then, where is General Bloodclaw? The General will welcome you shortly. He is occupied at the moment. It should only take a few minutes. I hope so. We didn't travel into this corrupted swamp to stand around in its mud for a couple of hours. What happened here anyway? The Pearl of Lore used to be the most beautiful forest of the entire kingdom. The forest has been infected. The General will tell you more. Woof! Good boy. First in the fortress, now here. You're getting quite fond of Zed lately, Aveen. Did you grow tired of your birds? I treat all animals the same, as you're well aware of, Thero. They're honest, and if you treat them well, loyal and friendly. I would choose the company of an animal over a human companion any day. Come now, Aveen, you didn't just come here to pet Zed. What do you really want? You have to return. My birds bring word that our enemies are on the move. Your forces are needed at the front, not in the middle of a corrupted forest. Cellier would never admit it, but he needs you. And I will return soon, but I have to finish this mission first. Tell me, Thero, does the Emperor know what you're doing here? Or what you were doing prior to your little meeting with the elves at the Darren outpost? He knows all that he needs to know, Aveen. Very well, then. I shall leave you to your devices and try to prevent the army from falling apart. Just one thing. Stay alive, Thero. If I have to come back to carry your corpse out of this corrupted place, you won't hear the end of it. Bark! You too, Zed. Take care of my Thero. Oh, greetings, General Greymore. Lord Harmos. Greetings, General Elvir. Pleasure to meet you. I have to leave, General Greymore. Important business. I'm sure you understand. Of course. Good travels, General Elvir. What was that? General Elvir is not exactly a people person. She seems to get along quite well with my friend Cellier, but seems to hold something against me. I'm not sure why. The General is expecting you. Don't keep him waiting. I have to admit, I had my doubts that you'd really come, even after my soldiers informed me about your decision. I understand that Genethys didn't want you to help me. He wanted me to join him and Larag instead. However, I have no doubt that they can deal with some demonic leader without me. I'm not surprised that he'd try to convince you otherwise. I have no doubt that my suspicions regarding him are true. It's about time you told us why you called for us, General Bloodclaw. What is going on in this forest? As you might have already noticed, the former Pearl of Lore seems to have been infected. The creatures here mutated and turned insane, not to mention the sick forest itself. Take a look yourself. Demons and forest creatures. I'm not surprised, but undead. They are here as well, then. First Admiral Seabright's fleet, now this. Do we know anything about them? Whoever created this army of the living dead must have had much time to prepare it in secret. And they're attacking not only us and the Orcs, but the demons as well. Another party has revealed itself, and we don't know much about them. Yet. Lord Harmos, have the kingdoms ever faced anything like this? Not that I know of, no. I've already sent word to my order, asking them to search through the archives for any form of information regarding this. Somehow I doubt they'll find anything. So, they are responsible for the infection of the forest, then? I'd think the same if it wasn't for the fact that when the undead arrived, the forest was already this mess it is now. I think it's unlikely that they're responsible. Possible, yes, but still unlikely. In that case, I suggest we go down there and inspect the forest ourselves. We already have undead coming out of nowhere and orc raiders on their way. We don't need yet another enemy appearing behind our front lines. I agree. We should get moving. We shall. The main bulk of the Iron Fist will remain here and secure the area. Let's move out. Find the source of the infection. Everyone's got to survive. So we've got Gardon back. I haven't used these heroes for a while, since the end of Act 2 at least. New lore has been added from the perspective of the Grey Guard. So yeah, we got to get used to this stuff. Oh, and we've got Zed now, and he can be resummoned for pretty cheap. I like that quite a bit. Honestly, the extra lifesteal per attack is great. So let's stick with that.
We shall not falter.
And let's see.
For the light.
This better be good.
Okay. Pretty reasonable sized force here. We've got the necromancers as well, which is quite nice. Only one chaplain, cleric. Yeah, chaplain. I don't remember which way to go, or like what's in this camp. So let's, I guess let's look around first. So I do remember this mission, or I remember what this mission consists of. And, you eventually fight the eldritch horror creatures, the Forgotten. But I remember it felt like it was like a really abandoned plot line in the original. Like it wasn't clear if it was ever resolved. Got a fountain of health back here. I guess we can always retreat if we need. Okay, I guess let's just pick a direction and go. I remember there was a boss fight at the end of this, and then the Forgotten monsters just sort of disappeared for the rest of Arkain. So I'm hopeful that maybe this sort of elucidates more about them and why they're here.
For the light. Right.
Demon scum. Kill them all.
By my honor.
Okay, let's go.
Right.
Zed, you don't actually have to lead. Okay, follow up with everyone else. Make sure that we're just using our spells. This is targetable, right? Yeah, I try to keep that on units all the time.
The light is with us.
Dark Secrets is very good for that lifesteal for sure, so we probably want to just make sure we're using that quite a bit. The only heal that we have available to us is this Chaplain, unfortunately, and the lifesteal on Gardon.
Do not fear.
So let's just lead with our heroes each time and then follow up with everyone else after. The only thing that I don't like...
What does the shadow will?
Yeah, it's just like we could tank with our heroes, but we just have no way to really get them their health back easily. Gardon would be the best person to tank with for sure. Okay, very nice. But again, I can always back up and go to that health fountain too if I need. We'll just quick save a lot just in case Blen gets nuked down for whatever reason. And this doesn't do friendly AoE. Doesn't look like it. Okay, good. Gardon, why don't you be the one that leads the way, please? Just keep putting this on people. Use your Q. Cursed Bolt. Sure. These Eridar Diabloists are pretty rough. Just because they can kill our stuff pretty fast. Gardon's mana is already very low. I guess Dark Secrets actually takes quite a lot of mana to use. I'm pretty happy with my... The spells on Harmos. Again, I'm like just sort of getting reacclimated to what these heroes all can do. There we go. Honestly, it's tempting to just take these folks back to the healing fountain. I don't know. We can heal them with our chaplain as well. What I'm inclined to do with the necromancers is just use cripple. We can always use unholy frenzy on our melee heroes, which would be pretty good. Though, I don't know if Raise Dead is really something I need to worry about here. Use this on Blen, please. Turn off the autocast. Turn on the autocast. Use it on Blen. Our other heroes will get some health back like normal. I don't even know if I'm going the right way. I mean, there's 2 ways to go, so I'm sure that we're going to have to backtrack one way or the other. Either we're going to find the right path to go to open up the other way, or vice versa. We're going to hit a dead end or whatever. Okay, let's go.
For the light.
Dark secrets, please.
Shall not falter.
What does the shadow will?
We got these guys with their double samurai swords. We've got the Eridar weebs, I guess. And, you know what? Eridar, you know, like, the strength of the Eridar's in magic, right? Why are you coming here with your stupid swords? Okay, it looks like we, in fact, did go the wrong way. I have, yeah, one of these guys. Stun, please. There we go. Should be able to take care of the rest of these guys. It's just these Eridar Diabloists. Back up when you're not stunned. Nope, I refuse. That mana shield can really get you. You think that you're going to kill him, and then you get hit with that mana shield. Rune of Healing's great, except for that guy. I think Zed went down. Cheap to get back out, and we got some lore to read too. I almost forgot about that.
What does the shadow will?
It's going to call down Infernals. Okay, now let's get everyone in there. I don't actually know if this is even going to work, but this is fine. Dude, Infernal Machines are nasty. I think they're one of the hardest units to deal with in the game, for sure. Belt of Giant Strength? Didn't even really look at my hero's items here. Let's put that on Gardon. We might want to start taking some items off of Blen and putting them on Gardon for the long-term health of the human missions, though at the same time we've got several pretty difficult missions with Blen still. And unless it's been changed, there's a future mission with Salamar and Edale and Blen, but it's like fake Blen, so he shows up with the items that were in his inventory, but if you put any new items on him, then they're lost forever, I think. So I guess that's just something to keep in mind. Like, I don't know if we want to pass any of this stuff off before that mission in order to make space in his inventory, but even if we made space in his inventory to pick up more items, those items are lost anyway, because it's like not real Blen. Again, I think that's how that goes. Anyway, it's nice how canonically we choose Gardon. I was thinking Char would pull a fast one and be like, oh, haha, like, you don't have a choice anymore, so now I'm going to force you to side with Genethys instead. But I'm pretty sure Blen's outcome, at least in the first and second book stories, was the same. I think there's supposed to be an optional quest eventually to kill a demon lord here too. I don't remember. It was like a named demon. There's 2 quests here. Let's check some of these out. I don't know much about the Pearl of Lore, but apparently it used to be a beautiful forest. Some would even go so far as to say that it was the most beautiful forest on the continent, and get into arguments with elves because of it. Well, it no longer is. The very damn ground seems to be poisoned. We've been warned by the Iron Fist not to drink any of the water, and there's a constant fog and stench everywhere. Did I mention the insane animals yet? Whatever happened to this forest, if it spread to the rest of the continent, even the demons would have a hard time surviving. Factions? Falcon Regiment. While the Falcon Regiment, with its tamed birds and other animals, might not seem very impressive next to the likes of the Dragon Regiment or the Wolf Regiment, you should never underestimate the bond between a pet and its owner. I have seen those birds tear someone's eyes out. Hard to believe that the first leader of the regiment was a former emperor of the old days. One should never underestimate the ruling class of the empire. And this makes me think, so, General Avine? Wasn't it Avine? Or General Avine Elver? General Elver, whatever. She called Gardon like a colloquial name, which might, I mean, we don't know what it means, but it was like, I'm going to guess is like uncle or like, I don't know, godfather, who knows? So, Gardon, I don't think it's been revealed in the true story plot yet, but we know that Gardon, I think, is the brother of the Emperor, and then Vandurus is like the uncle of them, I think, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to guess that, also based on saying that the leader of the regiment was a former emperor, I'm thinking this is sort of like an implication that General Elvir is related to the Emperor in some way, and by extension related to Gardon, which is why she has like a familial nickname for him, but I don't know exactly in what way. From what I hear, General Elvir is a skilled fighter and leader of the Falcon Regiment. There's even rumors that she might be a distant relative to the Emperor himself. Hard to tell, though, as she hardly talks with anyone. I think she simply prefers animals over humans. Nothing uncommon with the Falcon Regiment. She seems to get along with General Bloodclaw, though. A soldier told me that he heard her call him Thero, but nobody knows what that actually means. Okay, so I was on the right track in terms of
For the light.
stuff.
Right. What does
Gotcha.
the shadow will?
These bearmen are unusually aggressive. Nothing that would... Normally they would leave humans alone unless they came close to their huts. The corruption of the forest must have driven them insane. Okay, well, Zed's taking the heat right now. There's only one cure for them. Death. Also, they stand in our way. Let's put them out of their misery. Right, so I think in the second Orc book, Zermatt comes here to cleanse the forest. And we rescue the surviving bearmen, which is how they end up with the tribal dominion, I believe, is how that all kind of goes. Honestly, Zed going down every so often is perfectly acceptable because he's resummonable for relatively cheap, as I had mentioned several times. So I think we actually want to be tanking with him as much as possible. Keep using Imperial Edict, and it looks like we are going to get to level 6 this mission, which is insane because Gardon's ult is a 70% bonus damage, which is actually insane.
The light is with us.
So yeah, in the original here, like, there's the Forgotten, and so I'm kind of curious, and, like, there's the relationship to the Demon Lord that was here, too, but I don't really remember that much about the original, other than it just seemed like it was sort of an abandoned plotline, so I'm looking forward to seeing if there's some sort of answers to see how these things fit into what's actually going on, or maybe they were never really meant to, and we're supposed to just sort of be a throwaway thing, who knows. But the demons are here, the undead are here, and we know that the orcs didn't summon these things, so it's intriguing to think about who they are. I'm not sure if the implication is they're like an old, like, Arcanian offshoot, like of the race of, like, the old, like Crom, or they're servants of, I would imagine, the Dark Ones. For a second, I thought maybe we could say that they were servants of Brian, which would be really interesting, but that kind of goes against the whole idea of Gardon coming here, because we know that Gardon's hip with Brian, and I don't know if this was ever confirmed, but is Gardon in on everything that's going on with Brian? Do we actually know that? I think yes. Like, he understand. Like, Brian probably would have told him what's going on with the four demigods that had killed each other, and then some of them had, like, reincarnated, whatever. Though I don't know, because I'm looking at the second human book where this was just a dead end, but there were some items. Brian is hanging out with Gardon, and never once is like, hey, it's weird that the undead are here. Like, obviously Eredon's up to something, right? And Brian never really raises that concern. At least not that I would remember. And you think him of all people would be like, this is a trick. They're going to betray us. Of course. But yeah, I don't... anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. But the point is, we don't actually know how much Brian has shared with Gardon. But my assumption is if Gardon is here, it wouldn't be because the forgotten creatures that had tainted the forest are servants of Brian. Which really only leaves these things as being, like, ancient servants of the Dark One. Because that's also why Eredon would have sent units here to fight them. And hopefully we get some answers on that front, just because, again, in the original, it made no sense. And then, there was also the fact that there were demons here, and then you've killed the demon leader, and I remember there being some dialogue where the timing of it was, like, too short. This is really specific. It's weird that I remember this, but that just goes to show, I guess, how memorable that specific thing was. But, the dialogue happened really fast, and it just made... I just have no idea what was supposed to be happening, or, like, if there was supposed to be an explanation for why the demons were here too, etc., etc. Okay, that's enough, I guess, story recap for now. Again, we want Gardon and Zed tanking, not Blen. You know what? I'm fine with them killing each other, but never mind. Give me that Imperial Edict. Very good spell. Okay. We got some sludge monsters too. I think, are these aren't technically Forgotten, but similar to Forgotten, they're like purple goop monsters. I mean, these are actual purple goop. I wouldn't go so far as to say that Forgotten are purple goop. They're like purple tentacly monsters that are supposed to be akin to Eldritch Horror.
By my honor.
Okay, keep it up. Oh, Zed, my friend. Oh, no, no. Keep that Imperial Edict up. It's an excellent ability. How much is it giving us now? Avatar, please. Harmos. Oh, yeah, he's got the fire ult, and then Gardon. Give me that war aura.
I am here.
So one thing I'd be curious to see is giving Gardon... Oh, he's got them all up right now. Plus 85 damage. Plus Dark Secret, which gives him 21. So he's going to do like over 100 bonus damage. That's incredible.
The dead shall serve.
I am here. Right. For the light.
Now, the cool thing about Imperial Edict, the reason that I keep saying it's good, is that it gives friendly units 20 bonus attack. So, like, for example, if you just look at, like, a normal soldier who's doing 22 to 26, 20 flat damage is like it's like 90% bonus damage, right? So, like, it's actually better than, like, a simple command aura. Because if you're doing low damage, if you're, like, a small unit doing low damage... God, no, I would like Gardon attacking in the front, please. No, whatever. This is fine. I guess we could dispel the reju, but it's fine. We're killing them fast enough. Go ahead and take Zed. We'll get out of a fresh Zed. Get them all groomed and cleaned up.
What does the shadow will? Let darkness guide.
I see more demons up here.
For the light.
So you can see where I'm going for here. Actually, like, if you do a low amount of damage, a percentage increase to that damage is going to be minimal. Like, if you do 5 damage and you add, 20% bonus damage, that's only 1 extra damage. As opposed to Imperial Edict, where rather than 6 damage at 20% increase, you do 25 damage. So in the case of small units, Imperial Edict is significantly better for that reason. So that's just something to think about. Where's my cleric? Let's dispel this. There we go. We dispelled it on some of them. Poor Blen, always the one taking the heat. And we gotta get our fire golem out too. I'm a little concerned. I'm playing this very cautiously because I remember there is a boss at the end of this. And in custom campaigns, bosses can take a variety of forms, but in Arkain, if I recall correctly, a lot of the times they just... Like, basically, you go in with a bunch of units that aren't your heroes, and you can just expect those extra units to die, like, pretty fast. So it's kind of like, get in there, get some inner fires off. Maybe a firebolt with the fire mage if possible, but then just kind of assume that you're, just kind of assume that your other units are going to die really fast because the enemy does, like, a 200 damage carrion swarm or something, crazy like that. Okay, everyone is asleep. You hate to see it. Okay, no worries. We're back in the front. Blen continues to take so much heat from these Eridar sorcerers, but that's fine. The Diabloists are the worst ones.
I am here.
Took a lot of damage there. The Rune of Lesser Healing is fine.
For the light. Right.
The restless dead.
I guess let's go this way.
For the light.
This better.
Infernals, let's go. Sorry, Zed, but again, it's fine. We just get you resummoned pretty soon here.
The light is with us.
I gotta try it. Use Dark Secrets as well. 106 bonus damage. Oh my gosh.
Right.
You love to see it. Okay, get in there, and then we're gonna use Harmos' thing too. Ow! That's the last person that you needed to be using that on. What's the cooldown on that? It's just like a casual finger of death. You can use every 5 seconds.
Do not fear.
Stupid mana shield too. That's fine. You can hit Harmos with that. Manual of Health. Let me hit you with let me hit Gardon with that one. Keep going. Is Zed dead?
The restless dead wait.
Yeah, you know what? Get everybody in there. I'm gonna Avatar here. The reason is that when it ends, I think maybe he'll get some health back in the grand scheme too. And then Zed. It's also a quick save because again, if we get more of those Diabloists, they can nuke down Blen, and that would be a real shame. So keep going. Don't lead with Blen? I mean, he's Avatar now. Mortal scum, I shall feast on your souls for your impudence. Wait, is this supposed to be the... Is this supposed to be the enemy hero? I'll be honest, I'm a little afraid to wake my own units up, considering... Stun here. Considering how much damage my units do.
The light is with us.
Okay, goodbye.
The restless dead await.
Where the heck? Oh, he just like teleported back a little bit.
Do not fear. Right.
Get into it.
The light is with us.
Honestly, this is fine. You can rain of fire all you want. It's actually going to be probably less damage than if you were auto-attacking me. A Sobi mask. Who would that be best on? I mean, Harmos's mana has never been a problem. I guess let's give this to Gardon for now.
Do not fear.
Be good on pretty much all of our heroes. So this was just a random...
Very wise.
Just like a random aside that we were able to go down in that direction. Interesting. Okay.
My patience has ended.
We shall not falter.
You know what we can do, actually? Why don't we give the Sobi mask to Blen, and then he can pass it off to Edale or Salamar, because I think that would be really good on Salamar specifically. I mean, it's best on an intelligence hero because, again, it's a percentage increase, and a percentage increase is going to benefit higher intelligence heroes that have higher mana regen in the first place. But I don't know if Edale has enough spells that drains her mana fast enough such that she really needs mana regen.
Do not fear. Right.
Anyway,
Very wise.
let's continue.
By my honor.
Got some undead here.
I am here.
Undead, destroy them in the name of the Empire. Which is funny because we have necromancers in here with us. But I think we get necromancers specifically because Eridon allows them to be here. Like, I don't think Gardon is in on that, but like again, the only reason we have necromancers at all is because Eridon's like, hey, I guess go and help them because I choose for that to happen.
Do not fear.
Dude, poor what is this? Life Scorcher. I don't remember those. I don't remember those. Maybe we'll get those in a future Undead mission.
We shall not falter. The light is with us.
Anyway, it definitely feels like we already have a bunch of new, interesting lore just from here at the start of Act 3. I'm excited to see what's going to be happening with the Forgotten. Okay, let's keep going with our hero group plus summons. Strong summons. This Harmos ult is so good. This used to be a beautiful forest once. Now look at it. Infected trees and water, poisonous earth, insane animals, and creatures. This entire place should be burned to the ground. Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Once this war is over, I agree. That is, unless the demons burn it down, burn down the entire kingdom first.
Right. For the silver hand.
These silly Diabolists. Stop hitting Glenn. Actually, never mind. He's dead already because Edict was still up. Man, the amount of damage you can output if you buff up your units properly is pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Very wise.
Shockwave is good, but in these circumstances, you're going to do way, way, way better. Let's move up with everybody. Oh, we don't have any orbs. We got to prioritize some orbs on these heroes, too. Eventually, Gardon absolutely requires an orb. That's going to be something we're absolutely going to need.
We shall not falter.
Keep going. Let,
By my honor. Very wise.
This better be
By my honor. Right.
it's another Diabloist.
Do not fear.
Follow up with everyone else, though. I'm a little... Again, I can't these guys... No, it was the demons that fingered him. No, it was an Eridar of some sort that was finger of deathing, and so I would be concerned about that because I wouldn't want them insta-killing my other units. Like I said, we want to go into the boss fight with as much stuff as possible, with hopes that we can get a little bit of extra damage off with all of them before they instantly die. Again, to like a really high damage single target or AoE spell. Maybe if I finally, I talk about this all the time, maybe if I finally turn flippin' health bars off, I would do a little bit better in some of those Mondo fights where I struggle to tell what's happening. And I think at least half of the reason I can never tell what's happening is because the health bars sort of obscure the actual action. So, like, yeah, you can see the health bars, but it doesn't really matter if you can't use them. You can't use that information to any sort of good effect.
The light is with us. For the light.
The restless dead await.
All I can say is, like, well, this seems like it has low health, but I don't even know if the health bar on a specific unit is tied to one of my own units or if it's an enemy unit, so I'll click on it and try and move it out. So at a certain point, it's like, just turn them off. Just turn them off. Okay, we got some more Sword Eridar. Again, not really playing to the strengths of their faction. I have no idea where we're going or what we're trying to do. I think we're figuring out how to take that barrier down in order to get to the boss. But again, there's not an optional quest, so that must have been removed for whatever reason, which was to kill the extra like the guy who's like running the demons here. What are these creatures? I don't know, but I get the feeling they're responsible for this mess. Slaughter them all. You can't spell slaughter without laughter. This is fine. Honestly, if my heroes get put to sleep, because they're heroes, they wake up pretty fast, and, like, we wouldn't want to attack someone with Gardon who's doing as much. He's doing over 100 damage, right? It doesn't seem like the smartest choice. Okay, get in there. Zed's gonna die. Let's go ahead and get this ult back out. Yeah, it stuns, too, when that thing pops out. Flame Strike. We could probably just let these kill each other. But I think Gardon demands blood. I won't go into my other units, though. I think that would be wrong. Eridar Grand Master. All right. Get some AoE going here. We could also turn on and use Immolation. That would probably be smart. Forgotten Deathbringer. Get out of here.
We shall not falter.
Yeah, just keep going. We're doing fine. Keep pushing. Finally find some good spots for Rain of Fire, because we leveled that up quite significantly. I mean, in Arkain, when you're fighting these really large macro mission battles, then yeah, I want Rain of Fire. It's incredibly, incredibly helpful. Okay, very nice.
The light is with us.
Is this what we're looking for? I don't even know.
I am here.
Okay, keep going. I like the effect that goes up around him when you use Dark Secrets. Though it's purple, and normally purple is associated with bad things in video games. So it's... I think if I would have seen that effect in a normal battle, I wouldn't have really even associated it with the fact that it was a spell that we were self-casting for a buff. There we go. Evil in the woods.
We shall not falter.
And we haven't lost any units yet either. This has to be the source of the infection. Someone has corrupted this fountain with foul magic. It's most likely that strange creature we encountered that is responsible for this. I wonder if we can stop the infection by curing the fountain. What do you think, General Bloodclaw? Perhaps. I'll leave a part of the Iron Fist in this force to try and cleanse the fountain, and to keep an eye on this infection. Interesting. You humans lost fewer soldiers than I expected and fought quite well. Not bad at all. It's almost a shame that your entire race shall be annihilated soon. What the hell is that thing? Ignorant children. You have no idea what forces you're messing with. My people are the incarnation of perfection, and we're going to make this world perfect by eradicating lesser races such as your own. Ras-Zar. The only thing I see is a tentacled monstrosity, and I'm going to see you dead. Hiss! Typical mortal simplicity. However, since you prove to be quite resourceful, I'll give you a chance to face me before you die. I'll open the way to my hideout for you. Of course, The chance that you'll make it there alive is next to zero, but maybe you can entertain me a bit before you die. Mwahaha! I'm going to burn that thing to ashes. No argument from me. I like how Harmos makes a lot of fire-related comments.
The light is with us.
Ooh, it teleported us back to the fountain. You'll love to see it. The Forgotten have been added to the faction lore. Oh, this is what I've been waiting for. Actually, why would anyone from the Greyguard know what these things are? I have no idea what those creatures are. What do you know? But according to their leader, they consider themselves perfect. Maybe it's just me, but being purple tentacled monsters that corrupt forests and drive its inhabitants insane doesn't sound like perfection to me. Whatever they are, as far as I'm concerned, they're dangerous, and all of them should be put to the blade. Okay.
I am here.
I guess that's about what I expected to learn about these things. But I think I have deduced that they're old servants of the Dark... Is it the Dark God? There's the Dark God, the Shadow God, or Lord of Shadows, maybe? Which is Brian reincarnated. Dark God is Largoth, spoilers, but like we've already played through the second book, so we know these things. Eridon is the Death God, who never technically died, as far as we know, so he doesn't have, like, a new form. And then the Demon God, who's been MIA, because Eridon killed him. Surprise!
Do not fear.
I just imagine that's how it went when Eridon zapped him after the Demon God wrestled down the Dark God. Eridon's like, surprise! Buddy? Just, like, zapped him with some lightning, and he's, poof, gone. Alright, more of these dummies. Again, honestly, it's fine that we're asleep. I guess I could use some of my smaller units to wake these guys up, but even, like, my crossbow, look how much damage they do. It's insane. Okay, let's continue, and let's also get another fire thing out. Let's wait until there's some more units. I'm a little let down by this Cursed Bolt ability, because it's like, it tries to be a debuff and a single target nuke, and sort of fails at both.
What does the shadow will?
We shall not falter.
I kind of wish it would, like, pick a lane. It depends, though. Like, how good is the debuff? 10 damage over 3 seconds sucks, but it slows them, but it doesn't slow their attack speed. If it's maybe slowed attack speed as well, I could be convinced. But again, it feels like a bit of a letdown.
Dead shall serve. What is it?
Single target silence. Don't speak to me. Yeah, go ahead, Harmos. You're an intelligence hero. Go for it.
The light is with us. For the light.
Keep going.
The restless dead await. What is it?
Yeah, sure, get this thing out. Oh, baby.
I am here.
Get added.
The light is with us.
Looks like we're almost there.
By my honor.
What does the shadow will?
And again, let's just save now because the boss scares me. Rune of Healing right before we go in.
Is with us. For the light.
Is this it?
Right.
This better be good.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Impossible. I am perfection. You should have kept your end of the bargain, creature. Your freedom in exchange for your knowledge. As you see, trying to escape was futile. The Soul Eater Legion always gets what it wants. Your predecessor had taught you well, I see. I wonder if you too will share his fate. Enough of your games, creature. As much as it pleases me to see an arrogant creature such as yourself whimper and grovel, your constant attempts to evade my questions fail to amuse me. I want answers. What do you know about Largoth? Hiss! I no longer serve the being you speak of. You and your simple-minded kind are unworthy of my knowledge. We'll see about that. You will talk, one way or another. Nobody turns on the Soul Eater Legion and lives to tell the tale. When I'm done with you, you will wish that we had kept you in the prison we found you in, chained like an animal, screaming and crying. Okay. Lord Cursadar, we have company. Ah, Margazar, that's the guy. I'm well aware of that. You took your time, mortals. There's no need to worry. We have already taken care of this little pest for you. Hiss. Pest? I am perfection. I will not be chained again. No, hold him. Margazar, you imbecile, you let him escape. With all due respect, Lord Cursidar. Silence. We will talk about this later, you incompetent fool. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Cursidar, leader of the Soul Eater Legion. Your false courtesy does not fool us, demon. We're not falling for any of your tricks. You will die just like your brethren. You must be referring to those blood-drinker brutes. I assure you, mortal, we're nothing like them. With the exception of this buffoon next to me, perhaps. There's no need for hostilities. We aren't going to fall for any of your tricks, demon. Soldiers, on my command. Hold it, mortal. If you were anyone else, I would whip you with your own arms for allowing that creature to escape. We share a common enemy, mortal. Several, in fact. The Undead, the creatures that corrupt your lands, and even the Blood-Drinker Legion that invades your lands. That does not make us allies, fiend. But of course it does. Or of course not. Still, if our enemies destroy us, none of us has anything to gain from our own conflict. Wouldn't you agree? I could offer you a pact, one that does not include you selling your souls to me. A pact that benefits us both. Turning on Ornasian could prove to be another word from you, Margazar, and I will give you to Ibira and let her torture your body and soul for the next 1,000 years. Do not interrupt us again. You have nothing to offer us that would make us turn our backs on our empire and emperor, demon. Is that so? I could give you a lot, mortals. An end to the invasion, a surprise attack on our common enemies. The name of your traitor. We don't need any names, or anything else that you might offer us. Oh, you think you already know who the traitor is? You also think there's only one? How amusingly ignorant. I can offer you so much more. I know what your heart desires, and I know where you can find it. Enough talk. We're not going to make any pacts with your kind. Ever. We'll break you. Your invasion will fail. Your armies will rout. Your leaders will be dead. Starting with you. I admire your willpower, mortal, but you underestimate me. If I wanted to bend you to my will, I could easily do so. But if you're not interested in my offer... We are not. Margazar, deal with them. Then go and capture that creature and bring it to me. Do not disappoint me again. Grr. Show me your strength, mortals. Okay, this is different. There's many things I want to comment here. Quick save. Get him out. Cripple. Cripple. Start getting some skelly boys out. Stun. Just turn on inner fire instead. Buff. Stun. Harmos, go and pick up a rune here. You'll love to see it. We have portals coming out. Just dive the portals immediately, please. Soldiers come to me, which shall overwhelm the mortals. Okay, then this one. At least try to get some skelly boys out. Let's just try to get a cripple on him.
Do not fear.
Avatar now. Harmos, I'm just going to run you up here to this rune. It did hit most of my units, which is nice. I'm going to try to keep him crippled. This is actually going quite well for now. I think the skeletons that we got out are helping quite a lot. Don't mess around with the portals. Just don't even mess around with them. I don't need extra units diving in on top of me constantly.
What is it now? My patience has ended.
Harmos, come on down and pick up this. No ability to cripple currently. We lost most of our extra units, but I think this is okay. We did what we needed to do. There's so much story-related that I would like to comment on here. Not bad at all. We're finally done here. Let's return to the base. Hey, we actually had some units live. A necromancer and 2 knights. It's unfortunate that the creature who caused this mess managed to escape. I'll order my men to hunt it down. As much as I would like to take care of it myself, there are more pressing matters that we need to focus on now. Is it about the traitor the demon mentioned, isn't it? You think Genethys is the traitor, don't you? I have no doubt about Genethys being the traitor. He's already trying to convince others that I am the traitor, and to my dismay, there are some who may believe him. Genethys a traitor is far-fetched, but his recent behavior suggests that it might be true. He was trying too hard to prevent me from coming here. I've read his reports about the last war, about how he claims to have killed the traitor general and then ordered a retreat to save as many lives as he could. The interesting part is that nowhere in the report is it stated who the traitor general was. I was able to get access to some classified files, which state that Genethys claimed not to remember since he was only reacting when someone suddenly attacked him. Since Genethys had already been a highly decorated officer and allegedly saved countless lives, no one dared to doubt his words. Do you have any evidence that we can present to the other generals? They won't just believe you because you say so, especially if some have already been convinced that you're the traitor instead. I've collected everything I could find in my base not far from here. I ask that you help me find more so that we can make our case as convincing as possible. Many soldiers and officers alike respect Genethys. Can I count on your support? Of course, if Genethys is a traitor, he must be removed as soon as possible. Yes, let's waste no more time. Alright. So all the Genethys-related stuff, very similar to the first Human books. There was the first Void War. Genethys came back and was like, hey guys, everything turned out great. But it actually turned out he was like mind-controlled by, I think it was Ibira. It was Ibira's doing. I'm not 100% sure if it was her or maybe Lysara, but I think it was Ibira. Anyway, so many things with the characterization that's been added to Cursadar. So this has been all but confirmed that purple forgotten tentacle monsters are old servants of the Dark One, and it sounds like Cursadar had them locked up, like as prisoners, and he let them out specifically so that he could interrogate them on the location of Largoth, who we know is the Dark One. So that's why it basically is saying that they used to be servants of the Dark One, and now they're sort of gone rogue because they've gained their freedom, but it doesn't matter because I think, again, they're still meant to be kind of a throwaway villain. But that guy got away. Normally, I think you kill him, and instead it was Margazar. Margazar is normally the optional demon side quest that I was talking about. No longer. Now he's just the outright boss here. Very interesting that Cursadar was trying to create a pact with us. Very, very intriguing. Because what we know happens is the Soul Eater Legion essentially backstabs the Blood Drinker Legion after Eridon kills Ornasian, and then the Soul Eater Legion kind of spearheads the invasion themselves. But the one line that really stood out to me that I was thinking about that's really stuck with me is when the Tentacle Lord told Cursadar that he learned a lot from his predecessor. And what I think that could be implying is that his predecessor, Cursadar's predecessor, was the Demon God. Because then he said, you may also share his fate. Because we know the Demon God was killed by Eridon. So that one line means so much, because what it could mean is Cursadar might be like the new form of the Demon God, like Brian is the Lord of Shadows, like Largoth is the Lord of Darkness, whatever, Dark God, what have you. Maybe Cursadar is actually the Demon God's latest form, interestingly enough, which also makes sense in that maybe the whole idea of Cursadar wanting to... He's kind of like the puppet master pushing the Blood Drinker Legion to invade in the first place is because he wants to get to Eridon. So it's not necessarily about conquering the human kingdoms as it is getting to Eridon and getting revenge, which I think is a lot more interesting. And it also makes sense when you think about... It's all coming together now in my head. It makes sense why Eridon wants to trick the human generals and Celior into setting up defense around Dead Mountain, because he knows that the demons are... The real goal of the demons is to get to him. I think maybe is sort of what's playing out in the background here. This is just a theory, but that's kind of why I have a lot of fun with Arkain, is because the story is presented in a way that leaves you curious and leaves you asking questions and thinking about little details and how things might play out. And I think this is kind of a cool new idea. Just the idea that if Cursadar is indeed the demon god, it makes a lot more sense why he's trying so hard to push west into Arkain and get to Eridon. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time for the dreaded, the infamous Siege of Combe. Bye-bye.